Saba Stories. Sinbad's Travels, Episode 10, Land of Rain. In the previous parts of Sinbad's travels, we saw that he faced many dangers. He gained many experiences in every land he traveled to. He escaped from Phoenix and met the guardian of the diamonds. Then he went to the land of Egypt and the pyramids of Egypt and was buried there with the king. He was able to return to his own land and his city Baghdad with the great wealth he had acquired from different lands and trade there. After some time, he bought a ship and many merchants started a new journey with him. They reached the Phoenix Island and broke the phoenix egg. When the phoenixes returned, they threw stones at their ship. Sinbad fell into the water and was able to save his life by swimming. On that island, a greedy old man asked him to ride on his back and take him to that side of the spring. Sinbad was able to survive from that old man with his intelligence. Then a ship arrived at that island. He boarded the ship and continued his journey. They reached an island where playful monkeys lived. He was returning to Baghdad. He set off, and now the story continues. On the way, they reached a land called the Land of Rain. When they got off the ship, it started to rain heavily. It had a small roof above the streets of the city, that passers-by would pass under them so as not to get wet. Sinbad also went around the city with some people. Sinbad and his friends reached a corner of the wall and started walking from there. When they looked around with surprise, they saw that the people of that city were very easy to get around. In many cities, when it rains, people go to their houses or shops and wait there until the rain stops. But the people of this city used to come and go very easily. Children were playing in the streets. Shopkeepers were buying and selling. Some of the townspeople had kept something above their heads so that the rain would not fall on them. People behaved as if a day without rain was an unusual day. There was a garden near the city. Sinbad wanted to know what plants and fruits grow in this city. That's why they went to that garden. The garden was lush and beautiful. The trees were full of fruit. The gardener was picking the fruits very slowly and putting them in the basket. Sinbad asked the gardener,
"This much rain does not harm the plants. Will their roots not be damaged?"
The gardener smiled and said,
"It's the same everywhere in the world. In nature, plants and animals adapt themselves to the environmental conditions after a while. There are even some plants that grow in water and their stems are in water all year round. Their leaves and flowers are also out of the water."
The gardener showed them a strange plant. There was something like pepper on the branches of the bush. The gardener told them,
"There is a big leaf on each cluster. When it rains, that big leaf is careful so that the rainwater does not reach the clusters. Some days it does not rain for several hours. This leaf goes away and the clusters of this plant take good advantage of the sunlight."
It was pleasant to see that garden and the trees and flowers of the gardens. They walked around the garden for a while and then left. Sinbad and his friends were traveling for many days. They were going from one land to another. They bought and sold in every trip. Because of the many experiences they had gained, they had learned the way of business well and had earned a lot of profit. They met different people in each land. Once they reached a land where people lived who did not treat others well. They did not worship God and did not listen to his commands. Although the people there paid good money for the goods of Sinbad and his friends. But when Sinbad and his friends realized that they are not good people, they did not do business with them. On the way, they reached another land where divers went deep into the sea and caught pearl oysters. Everyone gave them money to go to the sea and bring him oysters from the sea. Some of the oysters were empty and some of them had pearls. Sinbad also gave them some of the fruits he had brought from the land of monkeys and said,
Go to the depths of the sea and bring oysters for me.
The divers went to the sea and brought many shells to Sinbad. When Sinbad opened them, he saw that inside all of them were pearls. Each of the pearls was very big and shiny. The divers were surprised and said,
It is clear that God loves you very much. You are a good person who helps you. We have been catching oysters from the sea for many years, but we have not seen such a large catch yet.
Sinbad thanked them and rewarded them and continued his journey. Some time passed until he reached Basra and from there he went to Baghdad. When he arrived in Baghdad, his family and all his friends were happy. He again invited all the people to his house. He welcomed them well and told them about his travel memories and experiences. This time too, he had acquired a lot of wealth. That's why he helped the needy more than before. The ship that Sinbad had bought and was attacked by the phoenixes had returned safely to Baghdad. The captain had delivered all its goods to Sinbad's family so that he could return. Sinbad, who thought he had lost all his wealth in the sea, was also very happy. He thanked God for returning his wealth to him.